yourself out. Everybody work at their own time, their own pace, so they can get to that destination. And when you see others get there, let me stop a little bit here and make sure, we look at everybody that's going on right here. So Selena the Celestial say, yeah, you need to be in the night frame of mind to learn something new, especially when it is important. Yes, yes. Your mind have to, if your mind ain't working, everything is off, brother. It's like a horse he going around the track, and if you don't have that thing to tell him to go straight, hey. I used to train on a track in Portmore, Jamaica, there with my friends when we go compete. Alisa Map say, hey Queen and the chat, greetings to each and everyone. How are you? How are you? I'm doing good so far. I still have a little wraps on my chest, but we're hanging on, we're holding on and giving God thanks. But I also wanna also give thanks to everyone who set the trend for all these things to be happening. You know what I mean? Because somebody set the trend. Chipla so to Alice to salute again, Queen. You know what I mean? Someone set the trend, and you see more trend are setting in different ways. And it's also up for us as human being, as mankind, to nurture these things. No, just embrace each other so we can learn from each other. It's like going through school. Those principals, those teachers, those educators, those everybody that you see around making up the school department or the workforce or anything, they all learn from somebody. You see what I'm saying? So we can't just come and say, oh, I had to do all of this. Blah, blah. No, we learn from somebody. You probably see like me. I see somebody do restream and I say, okay, that's cool. Oh, that's clever. Oh, maybe one day I aspire to try it out. And it's been a while. You know what I mean? Not just now, but it's been a very long time. And you just keep going. As you grow along, you learn. And that's why we have to have good mind frame and learn from each other. And when we say learn from each other, learn from them in the way where you can branch off to find your true potential. And when you say branch off, you're not branching off to tear nobody down. You're branching off so you can build your own community. And building your own community is not to tear somebody down as if what somebody else is doing is not a community. They might not have a big community space like you, but it's still their community. It could be like on the news you hear they say, "Oh, this community is a tight knit community." Why is it a tight knit community? Because this is smaller than opposed to a bigger community. Even in business, you have small scale, you have large scale, you have all these kind of scales in time in terms of business wise, and people who's in business will know these kind of things. You know what I mean? You have the sole proprietor, which is a smaller business. You have the partnership, which could be up to 2 to 20 members. You understand? And then you have the bigger ones go on and on and on. The list goes on. Selena said, I am following one guy on YouTube. He's so positive and amazing. Strength of character. He turned haters and soul into friends and subscribers. What a superpower. You know what I mean? But we all created and have this ability to do one thing in this world. And all we need to do is sometimes take that deep breath in and out and try to figure out what that is. I remember a few months back, that is one tea I don't like. Oh no, you don't like Surrey City? Is that what you're alluding to, Alisama? You know, we have to learn to take time to know what we want. Because sometimes when you're a new content creator, and this is the truth, when you're a new content creator, you don't know exactly what you want. Some people do, not everybody. Dapper say hello, Alice. So greetings to everybody. When you're a new content creator, to be honest, you're like a frog. You're just leaping here, leaping there, hopping here, lapping there. Sometimes you don't know exactly what is it that you really want to do yet. You know, the Gen X effect say, I was told there is a queen in the vicinity. Oh Lord. All right. Blessing, how you doing? You know what I mean? So that's why we have to respect everybody who set the trend, who are building the communities, because they know what it is like to be at the level in which we are at. You ever hear people hire public speakers to speak at an event? It could be a rally, it could be a school, especially school event where you see young people are going to elevate to the next level and stuff like that, or go on to college, go on to universities or whatever, going on to a skill trade school, or get their first job as a pilot, their first job as whatever it is, you name it. And Selena, it's my lucky day today. Jenex said, all right, greetings, greetings. Jenex said, Dapa, hello, hello, hello. You know what I mean? But you gotta own who you are. Respect where your journey. Because if you don't respect your journey, then everything around you gonna become toxic. Embrace each other, appreciate them, appreciate what you have learned. Because in all honesty, we all learn from each other. What it is even saying hello. Like me, I one night I remember Dapper was on here and I said, I know he's from the Philippines. I don't know how to even say bye in the Philippines, how they say it or so. And he write it in the chat. I asked him and he wrote it in the chat for me. And at least if he going away, I can type the word in. I may not be able to pronounce it the way it's pronounced correctly, but at least I know how to spell it. And that's one thing one of my teacher taught me when I was going through school. She said, if you don't know a word, make sure you know how to spell that word. Make sure you know how to spell that word. And if I don't know how to pronounce the word, I'm trying to make sure I know how to spell that word. And that is the same thing I told my children. You don't know how to pronounce a word, you make sure you know how to spell that word. Because when you spell the word, somebody else can know how it pronounced. They say, oh, and they probably can give you a breakdown version of what the word means. You know what I mean? And then you can say, oh, okay. And then I took my book up here and I start be able to go inside there that night when he got off. And I was able to type in, watch a video, watch some YouTube video. And I was able to write down some stuff in the book that mean if I'm here and because when you talk about community also, you're gonna have different cultural background of people coming in your community. They all not gonna speak English, they all not gonna speak Spanish, and they all not gonna speak French, which is the three main common languages that most of us would are very much accustomed to. We all not gonna speak those three language all the time. You're gonna have Swahili, you're gonna have so many, you're gonna have Mandarin, you're gonna have in the Japanese language, or so I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. So you have so many different walks of life, and at least learning the basic of something is better than nothing. If even one word. Yes, Selena. Yes, resilient queen. I relate to that as a tadpole in the YouTube pond. Yes, yes. You know what I mean? But it's good because when we learn something and we can say to these people who are coming in the community, like let's say Selena, okay, you're from Australia, and I can say, all right, big up to all Australian, because through you now more Australian will be watching the video. Through Dapper from the Philippines, more people from the Philippines now will chime in. You see what I'm saying? More people watching from the US, like connecting. That's how people come around, and that's how you get people from all walks of life coming in from different angles. You know, what I mean, that's why we have east, west, north, and south. It's there for a reason. But owning our own craft is going to be very important. And then another thing I want to say, when you elevate to the next level, don't burn the bridges that you have crossed. It's very important. Yes, you're gonna have to shift some things to make yourself better. It's like they say, you go, why do you migrate to America? You might migrate for a better life. You might migrate because things was hard. You might migrate because you're running away from crime, all kind of things. Doesn't mean it's not here, but you're running away because where you're living is more smaller. So everything is more tight knit, and then any little thing, you will get caught quicker, if that makes sense, in the rubble. You know what I mean? So you're fleeing to bigger place where the possibility of somebody just pick you up just like that is slim. You know what I mean? So people go different places for various reasons, but it's not for us to judge them. It's for us to find ways to learn from those people, because one, they're coming in with culture, they're coming in with so many different skills that we ourselves didn't even know of. You know what I mean? They're coming in with so many different voices, different perspectives, different way of talking, which is the language, the food. Because when you look at culture, we talk about, I've been on the work and travel program. while I was in college. And one of the things they wanted us to learn is the different cultures that we're going to combine with the people from Bulgaria, the people from Grenada, Bermuda, and places like those places that take part into the cultural exchange program. The U.S., a lot of them, us were here while some of the U.S. kids migrate to different countries within that time frame before go back to school, before we go back to college or university, wherever we were, and everything. I will learn so much. Come to America, and you thought, where I was in Maine, I thought I would be finding some nice, good old rice and peas and everything where I was. Mind you, I would say where I was doesn't mean it's everywhere, but the area in which I was or the vicinity, which is I couldn't find no rice. The rice that I find was plain rice, and you have fried chicken wings and stuff like that, and pizza, a lot of pizza, ice cream, snacks, and stuff like that. And because we were working at the park, we were working at hotels and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So you get to see all these things and different food, you know what I mean? And the different variety of fruits that, in my country, we used to buy grape. For example, in my country, you get a little bit of grape. Anybody know Jamaica know? You get a little bit of grape for like $200-300 at the time, and you're like, oh my god, I can't wait to get to the United States to eat more grape, because this was just a little bit, for your big money. In that time, I'm saying it's big money for us, because it's if you know the currency, convert it back and forth, you will say, oh, $300. I only got $300. I'd rather buy a pound of flour and some sugar or so. Yes, grape, something as grape. And I remember when I came here and I'm buying grape, and I was hanging out with my friends, and they were saying, one of my friends told me, Bob, I said, look, she buy a whole lot of grape. Grape expensive. We wait till grape go on to sale, and she just buying the grape. Yes, I'm buying the grape because in my eyes, I'm looking at just $6 as in $6. I'm looking at $3 here as in $3. But if I convert my $3 back home, that $3 probably be $500 in my country. And that's a lot of money then to just buy one fruit. You know what I mean? So, and that's why in life we just have to just go with the flow sometimes, work things out to the best of our ability, and see, enjoy what we can. Because when we can't, it's a problem. You know what I mean? When you can't, then you feel stressed out, you feel down. Food is like treasure now for sure. It's expensive everywhere, even here in Australia. Yes. And they're talking about egg prices and surcharge on your bill. Man, I'm telling you, you're gonna have to start walk with your egg when you go to the store. You go to a Waffle House or so whatever, they make egg into a pastry shop. I see they raise everything. You go say, here I got 3 eggs. I know they put 3 eggs into a cake. Here you go, make my own cake. Don't charge me this surcharge. You go have to egg, what they call it. Back in the days they call the system barter system. Is it barter or barter? Yeah, that's why they say exchange, where you do the barter system. So like, I want the cake from you, and you want the egg. So I give you the egg, and I get the cake from you. So yeah, barter system. That's correct. Yes, barter system. So a lot of olden days things is coming back. It's just coming back in a more fancy way of doing things. I mean, yes, you trade. And that's how people survived back in the olden days. When you study business back then, that's how people was raised. And I know you hear somebody say they trade a cow for something, that for some, maybe rice, sugar, whatever it is. It might not have to be that such a big animal, but it could be a chicken. You know what I mean? A goat traded for a cow, depending on how the trade go. And this system been in for years. Now surplus, where we have the excess of anything, you see now they start to put it into charity events where they donate these things back into the community. So that's how these things, the leftover goods, are being distributed right across to help the nation. Help the people, where we call them the ones that are more underprivileged. You know what I mean? However they label that category as, instead of put it into the waste, so it generate right back. So you lose one way, but also you gain, because you're feeding the multitude that can't afford it. So there is so many things to learn as we grow and as we elevate ourselves. But I would encourage anyone, while we're growing and elevating ourselves, also remember to respect others. Respect others go a long way. Because when we don't respect others, we have a problem. And once we have a problem, then we start to distribute it like it's something that somebody wants. They might want it, but in the end, they're not going to need it. So we have to be very careful when you elevate. A teacher taught their student to be smarter than them. A teacher don't taught their student to be like them. Because when a teacher get a degree, yes, I agree, respect others. When a teacher get their qualification or anybody get their qualification, there's errors along the way that they had made that even if they were supposed to graduate 2 years, 4 years, 3 years, however much years, that was their setback. And those are the experience they're going to share with their students to so that those students don't make those same errors. So when you master the craft of anything, don't feel like you're just on this journey by yourself. No, you feel like you step on this person, you step on this one. Don't do that. Grow and be mindful and be respectful, be appreciative, be thankful, because everybody that comes around you, whether they come, whether they leave, whether they stay, whether they go, they made you into who you are. And that's why it's very important for us to have also a mind of our own. Because if we don't have a mind of our own, we will have something that we're building, but we are influenced by the things that are not good. We are saying yes to it, but then we're realizing because we don't have no respect for the things that put us there, we don't have no respect for the people that elevate us to there. Remember, a teacher taught their student to be better than them. A parent taught their children to be better than them. A lot of parents that you see out here, they struggle. They probably work in the cane field. They work in this. You think they want their children to work the same job as them? They work hard so their children can be better than them. So when you guys out here as content creators or anything, and you're striving for excellence, and you get to that level, yes, this man may teach you a thing or two, or that person may teach you a thing or two. Be respectful to them. Whether you talk to them anymore, whether you don't mess with them, and be respectful. You know what I mean? Because somebody set the trend. This community did not just evolve overnight. You find your tribe and then you branch off. That's nice. Look at the bands. We have, so yes, Alyssa Mav said Fox Queen, Selena said yes. Look at the bands out there, for example. We have so many bands that even that young man that had passed away while he's from the UK. What's his name? That young guy there. And he had passed away where he fell off that balcony there. May he so rest in peace. Before, while he was there and he found his tribe, right there on the show he was on with Simon. He found his tribe there through Simon. Simon, because they went there to audition, and I guess they wanted them to probably say whatever. And then right there they just form a group of four, I think 4 or 5 of them. And after a while he left and branch off to go do his own thing. Doesn't mean he's not with the group, and then he come back with the group. You have Destiny's Child. Anybody know Destiny's Child? If Selena say, can you speak on any bad experiences you have had on YouTube? It's okay if you can. Yeah. Thank you, Selena. And just like Destiny's Child, I listen to Beyonce's and all these people. But also they stepped out of that box. Not to say they have beef with anybody, even if they had beef, but they did step out the box and branch off, because not everybody flourish into communities like those. Some people cannot do that. It's like in the closet, some people will, when they say claustrophobic, so they need to just be out there, like just be on the ocean, just floating. They don't know where they're going, they just know they're floating. You know what I mean? They don't know how they go, man, they just know they're floating. And that's okay. It's natural. You know, I traveled to the Bahamas in 2010, and I was there with my sister. That's the first time I was traveling on a tiny little plane. And I remember my sister said, you know, I visit my sister because I was so anxious to visit over there. So, when you never traveled before, anybody know back in the days how anxious you were, you will know. Even now, if you never travel somewhere else outside, you're anxious. And while I was there, my sister said, you know what? I don't want all of us to be in the same thing. If one go down, everybody go down. Meaning, if anything should ever happen, all of us go down. You know what I mean? None to help the other. And when she told me that, I remember at the time, her baby daddy and her said to me that, what would you like to do? So they're not just telling me that they don't want me to come and just what I mean lay around, just relax there and think that okay, since she's there, cause we don't mind you. I don't know what struggle they were going through or anything. You see what I'm saying? So even though you see glitter, doesn't mean everything is glitter. But she was just helping me navigate through at the time. And she said, "What would you like to do? If tell me one thing that you would really like to do in if you go back home, what would you like to do? Do you want to open a store? Do you want to go back to school? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Do you want to continue with running? We will support you." And right there and then, I was very young, right there and then, in my head at that time, probably I would think that, oh, my sister don't want me near her. But now, when I start to travel and everything, if it wasn't for her saying that to me, I don't think at that time I would probably even obtain a college degree, if that makes sense. Because maybe I would still be over there with her. And at that time, I did not have a college degree. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we have to appreciate sometimes when people say something to us, because look into it from different angles. Don't just look into it from the frustration section, because it's easy to look at something from a frustration place, because now our interpretation is so different, you know what I mean, of things. Somebody may say, yes, that's good, sisters are important, yes, you know what I mean. And sometimes don't look at it from a frustrations part of your life. Just look at it as, that could be something out there for me. And lo and behold, people, I went back home. I went to Cosmo School. They helped me. I go down. I did some other stuff down there. I get back into running and made a little name for myself. It's not a big name like big on the scene or something, but I always do running as a kid. And then when I graduate school, I stop and then pick it up back and everything. You know what I mean? And then to that, from what my sister said, if I tell you exactly my name, you guys can Google my name. And that is the honest truth. You guys could literally Google my name and find, say, I'm not lying to you. And anybody who know me very well, say that's the 100 facts right there. But that's not the point. I'm just saying to you guys that when sometimes somebody says something for you, to you might not like it, but please, especially if you're young people, you know what I mean, that still have a whole lot of shelf life. I call it shelf life. You have a whole lot of shelf life. You can always go up the shelf, come back down, dust yourself off, get back up, and boom, you become a superstar just like that. You know? So don't give up. Sometimes these things that you would say, oh, my sister don't like me, or my brother don't like me, he don't want me near him. He don't. Please. When somebody says something to you, just look at it and say, you know what, this is opening up my eyes. And I go home and I start to think, and then I call her and say, hey, I'm going to Cosmos School. Now they got a help fund because they say they go do it. Hey, you see what I'm saying? They say, whatever you want to do, I'll help you, okay? You see what I'm saying? Probably every other 2 weeks or so, I can go to Western Union and go pick up a two little dime. Come on now. And go to school. All I need to do is just go to school. Come on now. And I also taught myself there. You see, I made peace with another lady here who badmouthed me on her channel when all I said was hello. Life is too short just to make peace and move on. Let God handle your worries. That what I need. Yes, that's what I did. Yes, you have to give it all to God. You know what I mean? You let it go. Talk about it and just let it go. You know what I mean? But they say don't visit your old sores. Just let it go. I was talking to a lady friend of mine today, and I was talking to her about some stuff, and then we were different perspective in different part of what we were saying. And then we come to an agreement in the end. I would say, all right, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you okay. And then I say, okay. Because, sometimes we want validation. And validation sometimes is not the answer to our problem because we are the problem. And that's why a lot of things that is seen happening now. If we're not healed from something, we will always distribute that on someone. Because you're going around with so much, your cup is songwriter say, my cup is full and overflowing. But as you said, you gotta let God, let it go and let God control your mind. But when we let that go, it's for us to give it to Him full on. Let Him take care of it. Talk to Him about the problem. Because one thing I always say, mankind won't solve your problem, but God will. Because I was thinking about restream, and finally today I was able to do it. It's true, you're right. Can't take it personally, as you said earlier. Not everyone can like, and not everyone will be able to nice rise above and elevate. Yes, that's all we gotta do and move on. Next chapter. You ever do an interview? They don't consider you in the interview, and they had a pen going like this. They're probably in their mindset, I can't wait for this interview to be over. It's terrible, terrible. They're not saying it out loud, but just by flicking, the frustration is just flicking on the pen. Don't break my pen now. You know what I mean? But that's just their way to calm down because they know that they're doing a task and they have to be very professional. Today I was in a setting and I saw a lady interviewing another young lady. Not the flicking of the pen. Oh yes, you'll be surprised. Listen, sometimes it's not the words we say out of our mouth, it's our body language. Our body language say more about us than what we will be saying out of our mouth. It's like one day I had dressed from head to toe. I think we were coming from church and I went into the store. And then my food was already, and I was about to go. Hey, what they call it over here, ghetto. I didn't want to say, hey, you too cute for that now. Because I was dressed up, have a little makeup and everything. And he said, he said, you see, like you were about to go get bust out laughing because I'm like, you know what I mean? So at least, whatever you're going through, somebody can snap you out of it, baby. Sometimes you just get that pen in your rocking chair, baby. We all have seen that freaking pen. Trust me. That's because they have to maintain a level of professionalism. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't think you rub the interviewer in wrongly. You'll be surprised today. So even today I saw a lady and she was interviewing a lady, and I'm like, I don't know what kind of interview lasts an hour. That sound like an interview you don't get. That lasts for an hour. And you try to, rectify to see how well you can say, but my mama sick and my papa sick. You know what I mean? And she was there, and then after that, I see the interviewer just go like this, and I was looking dead at the interviewer, and then she have on glasses too. She was just rolling her eyes, and just her facial expression said it all. Like she was saying, "Geez, when are you gonna shut up?" You know what I mean? Just her facial expression could just tell. Like me, when I used to work in the public domain, like in a restaurant, and somebody come in, they said, "Geez, you can't laugh." They said, "Laugh, man." He said, "Yes, that's the way we want to see you laugh." Because to be honest, if I don't laugh, I look like zombie. I look like first class zombie. Like, ooh, Lord, lady, you can laugh. The world is not that serious. But look at us, they know I like to laugh. You know what I mean? But it's just that they could see you in your wrong mood, and then they just judge you. They don't have to judge you to the point where they tear you down, but they just judge. Yeah, people need to learn to light up. We have to light up, man. You know what I mean? But you know what? The right people will light you up. I can tell you that much. It's like you're stuck in your ways for years. I was watching this movie where it was a young little boy, and all he'd do every day was just sit down, nod his head, and like little music playing. No talking, nothing. And the mother was saying she don't understand what happened to her son. She couldn't tell what happened, and all he did was just this. I forgot the name of a movie because it was an old movie, and that's all the little kid did. That's just like this, no words. And one person came in that room, investigate and find out what was happening with the child. The mother said, no, he don't talk and everything. That was a lie. That little boy had seen so many violence around him, and only thing he was doing was numb to it. He opened up to that person. He wouldn't talk to the mama. He wouldn't say nothing to everybody else, but that one specific person just come and change him. That's all we need in this world. You hear me? To make a difference. The world smile with Bazis, a resilient queen. Good night. Hope you had a wonderful day. Yes, how are you? How are you doing? Greetings to everyone in the chat. And greetings to all the private watchers as well. Bless up to everybody. Manners of our respect. So you'll be surprised to know who can make a difference in your life. And sometimes it's not the people who you're around every day make a difference in your life. Sometimes it's just random person make a difference in your life. Somebody do something just random. You're shocked. You didn't expect it. And we're seeing it every day. You know what I mean? We're seeing it every day. What is happening on in our lives. I remember the other day when I was sick and I called my neighbor, the elderly lady there, and she was there. And as soon as I called her, she said, do you have this? Do you have that? That lady just spring into action without me even saying, hey, can I beg you this? Can I beg you that? That lady just spring into action like she was my mama. I swear, she spring right into action. When I look, she brought me honey, she brought me some tea, she brought me some cold thing, and the kids eat off all the cold thing. I look back for it, I'm like, ooh, they ate all of that cold cough drops off. You know, I am eating my lunch and nodding along. Yes, resilient queen while she jumped through bomb. I wish I had known what that movie is because I know a lot of parents have children who literally you would think they're non-verbal, but there is something that they had seen that can really put them in that level. I forgot the name of the movie. But since I'm talking, you see how things can come back to your head. Sometimes you think you don't know nothing. All you need to do is just open your mouth and let God fill it with praise. That's all you need. Let you fill your mouth with praise. And then you see how things come together. And I forgot the name of the movie. What show was that? Was it was it that movie was saying the eyes of the Lord are in every place. Was it Walker? Was it Walker Texas Ranger? Because it's a long time movie. I don't remember if it's Walker Texas Ranger. Oh, I can't remember the movie. My memory. This is telling you my memory is bad. I'm getting on the other side. Hello from the older side. But all that little boy did, and that one person made a difference. And even now, we're gonna see so many people said, somebody changed their life, somebody changed their thought process. I was even on here one night. Hello, the old lady from the other side. Yes, I'll be singing Adele's song, Hello from the Other Side, soon. And hello from the other side. I remember I was on here one night, and I think the night before or so I was venting. And then the following night, someone I don't know if they're still here, but I won't call name. They will know themselves. And that person said something to me that stood out with me up till this blessed day. Up till this blessed day. And the one thing I missed from that, I didn't have a screenshot of it. And I wish I had a screenshot of it. That person said one thing to me because I think I was venting the night before. And then that person came on my live. And what they said to me just give me a whole new perspective at the way I would look at things and view things. Now I will be venting, but I will I barely vent now because I'm trying to be working on me. Because sometimes the problem is not with anybody, it's with you. It's with you. And we can't live in denial forever. I can make one half of the grocery list and you can make the other half. That's so good. But that person came. And to be honest, he might not know that he made that impact. But I think I had said it to that person. They know themselves. I won't just put nobody on blast for that. You know what I mean? But that one person just came and they said, when I reach out in life, I will make sure I ask that person permission if I'm writing a book to put that in there, to write their name in there for that segment, because that made a whole difference. And you'll be surprised to know all you need to do is just change somebody's thought process. That's all we need sometimes. And that's why we need to be trained in a lot of stuff. We need to be trained. We need to be educated in a lot of stuff. And when you say educated, you don't have to go to college for 4 years. You don't have to go to college for 6 years. Whatever, how many years you go, you get a trade, you get a skill. So you have a lot of online this, online that. Do your own research. Read widely. Tap into different topics. Read and go into the because right now on YouTube we have so many different platforms that are talking about current events, things that are happening around the world globally, internationally, and locally. And it's affecting what you think it's affecting just one person. Thank you, Selena. Selena said hit that like button, everyone. But we appreciate love, manners, and respect same way. You know what I mean? And look at what is happening. I know a lot of people even now probably regret some decision they made with what going on with current events. You know what I mean? But you can't regret because there is no way to undo it right now. You're gonna have to wait. Because a lot of times when you look at, and that's why they say, when we dig in a hole, we gotta be careful. Because sometimes you're trying to trust that, oh, these people don't need to be here, that person don't need to be here. But through them now, you're learning a whole lesson. The whole nation now is learning a whole lesson. And I know you probably in your head are saying, that's not what I did. That's not what I dialed in for. That's not, you know what I mean? But then little did you know that was like a trap. It's like somebody lowering like I was watching the news and they were saying this person find this young girl on the internet and lower that young girl into the place. But that little young girl was smart enough, I can tell you. Whatever that mama was doing to educate that little girl, I would love to hear that story. Because that mama was probably teaching that little girl very well, even though she should never go with stranger. But the mere fact she did and was able to call and get out of the situation, because that person ended up with a thing to his head, even though he's in the hospital. But I would love to hear that story of how that mother prepped that little girl leading up to these things, even though she had went. But what I would really love to know, what did she saw that led her to call her mama within that time frame, because that will also help other parents as well. I mean, these are difficult situations, but it could help somebody else child. Child's education starts at home. Yes, starts at home. Yes, everything starts at home. The problem starts at home. Then you have the everything. There are several factors that affect the child in everything: home, school, church, communities, everything make up life. Everything. Even not as adult, everything make up life. The bills, those alone will send you up the roof. And especially with what's happening now, and people losing their jobs, having multiple cars, paying for them same way, high insurance and stuff, don't know what's going to happen, and it's rubbing in the head. And then these people probably have a high expensive rent apartment, securing themselves and all these things, and next thing only to know that you don't know what's going to happen. Parents need to be correct before your child can enter the world correctly. Well, you know what? God don't wait on us. He just give it to us sometimes. Sometimes is when you least expect it to come. Don't you see everybody who planning parenthood can barely have it. So sometimes that case we have to just let God control that part. Don't you see how many people planning parenthood? Oh, we're planning for this, and it can't happen. They go through several rounds, and it can't happen because sometimes you just need to let go and let God finish the rest. Don't even think about it. Just let go and let it happen. What happened happened. When I was going through high school, not high school, college, I remember I used to tell my friends, I want to be able to save in my country at the time. I want to be able to save at least 20,000 Jamaican dollars at the time in a bank account, just in case if something, because once you're on this world and you're using the letter F in a different way, not with the alphabet, but in a different way. Anything can happen. Disease can happen. Pregnancy can happen. You name everything, something can happen. You understand? And I said I would love to put some money aside just in case if something should happen. And let's say, for example, the father gone, or God forbid something happened. I can have something for the child first, maybe 2 years, not even 2 years, first 6 months of him being on the planet. I can buy him his little feeding, buy him little clothes. You know what I mean? Because I had somewhere to live, so I wouldn't have to worry about that. And a lot of my friends look and laugh. So what about the man? What about this? What about that? Sometimes it's not about that, because you don't know what's gonna happen. So it's just like parenting. You're planning these things sometimes and you don't even know if it's gonna even click. It's like you go out to fish and you don't know if you're gonna catch 10 fish. You don't even know if you're gonna catch one. You know what I mean? Don't worry, I am not perfect. I make mistake as a mother, but I try my best. Some honest horror stories about mother and neglecting their children is so hard. But yes, man, we understand. We understand. And that's why we just have to just let the Lord work. You know what I mean? Because I think with motherhood, the effect of having children on your body is need to be talked about more. Because after you become mother, you see a lot of mother now, they become so emotional. Even I was watching this young girl on YouTube now. She and her husband, they're so nice. She and her husband. And she just recently delivered a baby. And I was reading the comments under her section because I like to read the comment under her page. And somebody was saying, you're wrong. Never sin up at that man because he do everything for you. But people don't understand. After you have children, there's a whole nother aspect of you. And that's why I believe in parenting class. It's very important. Not just to say, oh, you plan parenting, but make sure you go parenting class after you have baby. That's what you're gonna really need. You're gonna need all that support for the first 2 years of your life. Because I can tell you, if you don't got that, that man gonna be running away. He gonna be, where is the freeway? Where is the exit? I need to get off this freeway. I'm tired. Not realizing that you start go through post depression. I had preeclampsia after I had baby, and before I had baby, I could not stand that daddy. I hate the ground he walked on, and before that, none of that was happening. So life comes with its own territory, but we need to have more discussion about these things, because these are the things why a lot of things are getting out of hand. And then man on a whole, some of them, their parents didn't even taught them how to even treat a young lady, how to be there for their partner, because the parents themselves did not get no good treatment growing up. Nobody cares for them or anything. They go, they made errors, they learn from their trials, they learn from all these things, and then have a child. It again for me, people in the back. Yes. So I think what we need is dialogue going forward. So it's like having a safe place where people can talk about these things. And that, so yes, she just had a baby, and she was saying the first night was not so bad. The second night it was rough for both of them. And it seemed like, and she said she get emotional and she started crying. If you are a mother, you know all the horrors of having a child. Just picture yourself before you have the child and picture yourself after you have the child. Ooh, two different life, two different vision. The vision you have what before you have baby. Oh, I want my baby to be this. Oh, baby, I can't wait for it to be a big happy family. Where? It's like a whole lie you tell yourself. The only time that happy family is gonna come is through support, through parenting class, through proper education, through checking on your well-being. Make sure you're not living in denial, because living in denial as parents, we all go through that, whether we tell it to the world or not. It's for you to own it for yourself. You don't have to share it to the world. The hormones are so real. Yes, that's what changes a lot of us. If right now, if we should interview females that had children way before, I have children and they are older now, I have parents who have children now and in between, they would tell you some things you will be shocked. And before, they weren't like that. I literally, yes, I was a mess, but LOL. But when I make sure my girl turn one, I started to chill. Oh yes, man. People don't know listen, I was in a parenting class here once. My story was also told, but it's on this website. I forgot the name of the website. Then I could have you guys go there. Huh? Go to preeclampsia, memory loss. Felt like somebody put a bullet to my head, guys. When I tell you I had the last child, you're confused sometimes. And I was listening to someone and they said keep talking and talking, reading, and keep elevating yourself. That way will help you. And I slowly by slowly I see that is helping. Lisa's got style say hello, greetings to you. How are you? Morgan in movement. Hello, how are you? Greetings, greetings. But we gotta learn, people. It's not easy, and that's why education in because when we look and see all these parents, don't want everybody labeling these parents as a monster because they never get the help they need, and then sometimes they're living in denial. And living in denial ain't gonna help us. It's gonna help our kids to the ground, and we gonna help ourselves to jail. That's what gonna happen. And the man run away, and they say the cow jump over the moon, and who run away with the spoon? Comment if you remember that little kiddie song there. Eh? Everybody running away with this spoon. Selena say, Lisa, hello. Margaret Boomer say, I am blessed. Thank you. Margaret say, hello. Lisa says, Selena, greetings. Thank you all so much. So listen to me, guys. Even if you're not a mother now and you aspire to be a mother, enjoy yourself now because when motherhood come, you're in a different ball. And all mothers go through this, sometimes in silent. Sometimes in silent they go through this. Sometimes they don't want to even see their partners no more. And you don't even know that you're going through a deep depression. When you go to 6 week clinic as if you're a mother, the dish run away with the spoon exactly. So that's how man run away. They don't say, hey, where's my clothes? Sometimes they don't even carry nothing with them. They just go, you know. But what was I gonna say? Anyway, it will come back. That's why we have to have the education. Oh yes, it come back. Any woman that is out there that aspire to be a mother, I would suggest get a team on your side. Put some things into preparation. It will not set you up for pregnancy, don't get me wrong, but it will alleviate some of the things that you will go through because you have some things in place that can help you elevate to the next level. For example, have a few dollars with you in the bank just in case if something should happen and your partner say, you know what, I can't stand you because you're irritating, you're annoying. They will say these things to you. Some of not everybody built to tolerate these rat of the mothers. Because we are rotting at that point. And all mothers out there, you know what you've been through. You may not been through all of this, but you've been through it in different ways. I mean, hello, Lisa. We are talking motherhood. Yes, we've been through motherhood in different ways. Make sure you have at least a few dollars aside to help you throughout. Make sure you have a support system. Educate yourself in parenting class. It won't set you up for a whole lifetime of everything because every stage that child go, it's gonna come with its own hurdle. But make sure you have a speed dial number that if anything are you going through a meltdown, a turmoil phase in your life, somebody is there to support you. Because sometimes your partner, he break down because he might not understand. And you got to remember, not all these men that you see, we are saying, oh, call it lace chips. Let's use the word lace chips so you understand. Lace chip with. Not all of them are knowledgeable about parenting. They want to be a father, but at the same time, they themselves did not have anything, no foundation. Or sometimes they had the foundation, but when they were young, they did stuff in their life that they didn't want. So when they're ready to settle down, it's too late because no mother around them to educate them no more. No father was in their life to show them the way out and to tough out things when things get hard. Broken home is a challenge. And then when you have these things that you say, but oh, he's not here, he's not supporting, he's not helping. Even in marriage, you still have people not helping. It's one person doing everything. And then it's so funny. Anyway, hold on. Let me read these comments. Selena said, make sure you bring snacks to the hospital too in your hospital bag. When I go to the hospital, I go like the first time I'm traveling. Take everything with me except the bed. I go to the hospital, I go like I am on a vacation. Selena the Celestial said sometimes partners can handle the emotion meltdown and don't exactly know how to support me. Yes, man. I even watch another young lady on YouTube, very good family, decent little family there. And They were sharing their story after she, 'cause that's her first child, and they were sharing their story, and she said she literally run her man out the room because he was not helping. Mind you, before they all lovey-dovey, but children change a lot of things, and more discussion need to be held on these things. And that's why the way life is, the way it is right now, because you need more education, you need more parenting class, not only from for the mothers but also for the fathers, to prep them at least for the first 2 years of a child life, so that that father, that mother can also help in whatever area, so that things can be better for not just you, but also for the mother to be able to properly take care of that child, and also for the father to also properly be there for their children.